Konami Studios. And next on the list of series I didn't know came out, let's talk Hoops. So Netflix has dropped another animated comedy. This one is called Hoops. It's about basketball. You know, something every kid who watches, I say kid even though it's an adult animated series, you know, something every kid who likes cartoons is interested in, basketball. So it's 10 episodes. And I didn't know what to expect when I went into this. I saw the trailer, I think, a couple days before the show dropped. I didn't know what to expect. I pretty much went into this for one reason, and that was Jake Johnson, because I'm a huge fan of his. I've liked him in almost every project he's worked on. He just has a certain sensibility about him that I think is very charming and delightful. So I was like, well, I'll give this a shot, see how it goes. And it is pretty standard adult comedy. It feels like something that could have premiered on Fox back in, I want to say about the time Bob's Burgers was coming out, but it's also very like graphic in its language. So if it was on Fox, it would have to tone down the language. But that's like the actually main adult situation here. It's just how people talk. It's like the language they use, the sexual way that they speak. That's like the main problem here. So the story is about this basketball coach named Ben Hopkins, and he is this, for lack of a better term, I would call him kind of an asshole. He's loud, he's obnoxious, he doesn't really understand social cues, but his dream is to be this coach of a basketball team, be this bigger thing. But he's stuck at this high school, and he can't really escape from that area. And it sucks because his wife left him. His dad is a show-off who tries to always be better than his son. So he can't really outgrow that situation that he's put in. And I think in a lot of other comedies, this character become very boring and uninteresting. But it's just the subtle way that I think the whole situation is about this guy of Ben and how he is navigating the courses of this Kentucky town he's living in. And he's a very interesting character because I don't think he's likable. Like, I wouldn't say he's a character that you would like to see or like to meet in real life, but just seeing the way he acts and composes himself, it's a weird analogy, but I compare it to somebody like Rick Sanchez on Rick and Morty, where just the arrogance and way he acts is just kind of compelling to the point where you're like, I could watch a lot about this guy, but I don't want to meet him and I don't respect him. Because he is arrogant, he is brash, and I think there's something really compelling about that. And a lot of that does come from Jake Johnson, just the way he is talking. He's kind of got that slow draw to his voice where he's over-explaining everything that's happening, or he's just kind of saying why a joke isn't funny. There's something pretty compelling in that nature, and I'm actually I like it a lot, and I think this does a great job of just balancing that flow of like, he's an asshole, but we're trying to make him kind of likable too. He is the best part of this show, I will say it. Jake Johnson and the character of Ben, I don't want to say it's the only saving grace of this show, but there's not a lot of other stuff going on that I think is really worthwhile. You got the kind of like, you got the sidekick who's just kind of like willing to take all the butt of every joke, and Ron Fudge's character, and that's okay. That character's kind of funny, and all the kids on the basketball team, they're all unique and different. There's some okay jokes between them. There's like one episode where the joke was kind of funny, where it's like the gay kid Matthew, everybody thinks that he's actually straight, so the gay kids start to pick on him, saying, oh, you like girls, you like their body parts. And that was kind of funny just because it just like flips that script in a different way, and it's making fun of him for being straight. And it was like the one funny thing that those kids did. Like, there's nothing like particularly wrong about this show. I don't think it's bad or brutal or does anything that's like stupid or inoffensive, but there's just something, it doesn't reach the standard of some other adult comedy. It's just all the jokes are simple, they're there, you get them. Sometimes it tries too hard. There's a lot of swear words, and I think that kind of gets gratuitous at times. Where you're like, how many times can you say, the F word in like one scene to where it just becomes too much for you to care about or too uninteresting to even just be a part of? Like, there's just something about that I think that just loses itself along that way. And it's kind of annoying, and I didn't really appreciate it. Some jokes do land, and it's just fine. The voice cast, I think, for the most part, is pretty good. I don't have any complaints about that, but I just don't think this is going to be that show that everyone should go out and watch. It just doesn't have that, like, it's just not going to grab you in the way that a lot of other comedies have. Like, it's not like a BoJack Horseman, another show on Netflix that I adore. It's not like that. And I don't think it's trying to be. I think it's trying to go for that Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burger demographic, but in a very R-rated situation. Just doesn't pull it off in the way that it should. If you want to watch this show, I recommend it for the lead character because he's compelling enough where you kind of want to see more from him. But if you get tired of him after a little while, I completely understand that too. I think that character could get drawn out pretty quickly, and there's nothing about that that's bad. It's just that kind of character. So Hoops, it's a show it's okay, but I don't know if it's going to be for everybody. I don't have much to say on it. I just wanted to throw out my opinion there for you guys because I think it's worth talking about because these kind of comedies are important and I like seeing them, but Hoops, it just kind of misses the beat for a few times. So I'm going to give Hoops a 5 out of 10. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It's not all the time where you can't see this pretty face. Sometimes we do have a camera, so you guys can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.